So if we're going to write a question that asks to the person doing the test to find the midpoint or a length of a segment, there's a few ways we can go about it, and then however you want to do it is up to you. First thing we can do is just say, okay, find the midpoint or the length of coordinates 3, -2, and 4, and 5. That's something that we can do. In which case, we expect the person doing it to find a distance between here and here, and say we've got, okay, so that's we're going 1 across from -2 to 5. We're going 7 up, and there's our. So then we can use Pythagoras' theorem. Our midpoint will be 3.5, and our halfway point will be whatever it is, 0.5 or 1.5, whatever. It doesn't matter. So that's something you can do. The other thing you can do is you can draw it. You can draw the graph and say, here's your points. There they are. And you don't have to necessarily label them. You can just use your coordinates. So that looks like it might be 2 and say 3. Or like I said, you can label them 0, 2, 3, 0. And once again, ask them to do the same thing. The other thing you can do, if you want to step things up a little bit, is to say you've got an equation, y equals 3x minus 5. And you could say, what's the distance between the 2 points where x equals 0 and x equals 7. So in which case, they would have to substitute both of these values into here to get y values. So we'd have 0 and -5, and then 7 and 16. So, and then once again, they'd find the distance. But that's something else you can do. Alternatively, you can say when y equals those values and get them to do it that way. As well as that, you don't have to write your equation in that form. You can do it in ax plus by equals c, and then come up with that from there. But that's the way you do it. So you'd set that up, and then you would ask for either the length, the midpoint of those 2 points, or the length. And like I said, you can do it with just coordinates. You can draw a graph with just using the intercepts or any points on the graph if the graph is clearly labelled, or you can write an equation and just substitute x and y values in there. But any or all of them will be just fine.